Today is December 17th, 2025. This is Read Through the Bible.
Hi, everyone.
Have you ever heard of Heartbreak Hill?
No.
No. Heartbreak Hill is a term used, I think, by like runners of the marathon, where they've been running and running and running. About mile 21, boom, here comes this big hill. And it's just like, oh my goodness, they want to finish, but there's this big hill in front of them. I feel like our time in the Old Testament here, we've been reading 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, and now 2 Kings. It kind of feels like we're hitting Heartbreak Hill right now.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like we're so close to the end of 2 Kings, and yet it's like this big hill in front of us. We still have more kings. We still have more murders. We still have more adventures.
And quite frankly, things in Israel in the north and in Judah in the south, things are just going to get worse and worse.
Yeah, it's not going well.
There'll be a few good kings
Yep.
still.
And so also, just to kind of give you guys a heads up, on Friday we're going to read 2 Kings 17, which, that's when the northern kingdom is destroyed by Assyria. Sennacherib comes in and takes away Israel and Tiglath-Pileser, and it becomes Syrian territory. So just kind of, 2 Kings 17 is a big chapter because that's when Israel in the north is wiped away. Okay?
Right, and then
we'll get there. Just a couple more days. So kind of hang on. Just keep plodding up that hill. You'll get there.
But looking ahead, as far as when are we going to get to the New Testament?
There you go. In fact, we had someone ask us yesterday.
Right.
She said, "When?" You maybe what would she say to us?
I don't know. When are we going to get to the New Testament?
Yeah, when do we get to the New Testament?
Or get back to the New Testament.
Yep.
So December 30th, which is a little less than 2 weeks away from today, we will be starting the book of Acts.
Yeah. There's going to be a breath of fresh air after this big, long slog through 1st and 2nd Kings.
But just remember, God gave us these stories for reasons that He knows, and so, I mean, they are stories. And it's very dramatic stories.
They lay the foundation for the New Testament.
Very much.
You'll understand the New Testament better if you understand these books of the Bible. Okay, we're in chapter 13. Which has to do with, just continued again, we've got kings of Israel warring with Syria, which is, just think about today, Syria's in the north, and so also Israel's in the north, and so it makes sense that that's where they're warring. Okay, chapter 13, verse 1, in the 23rd year of Joash, the son of Ahaziah, that's baby Joash, who was hidden, who became king, Ahaziah, king of Judah, Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu, began to reign over Israel in Samaria. So if you put a little I next to chapter 13, verse 1, this is Israel.
So Jehu's son. Jehu-Yahu's son.
And he reigned 17 years. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord and followed the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. And Jeroboam, remember, it was the king when the kingdom split, Rehoboam in the south with Judah and Jeroboam in the north over the 10 tribes. Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, which he made Israel to sin, he did not depart from them. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he gave them to continually into the hand of Hazael, king of Syria, and into the hand of Benhadad, the son of Hazael. Then Jehoahaz sought the favor of the Lord, and the Lord listened to him, for he saw the oppression of Israel, and how the king of Syria oppressed them. Therefore the Lord gave Israel a savior, small s savior, so they escaped from the hands of the Syrians, and the people of Israel lived in their homes as formerly. It's interesting, this Savior seems not to have been named even.
Right. Like a military leader who helped them.
Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, they did not depart from the sins of the house of Jeroboam, which he made Israel to sin, but walked in them, and the Asherah also remained in Samaria. For there was not left to Jehoahaz an army of more than 50 horsemen and 10 chariots and 10,000 footmen. For the king of Syria had destroyed them and made them like dust at threshing. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoahaz and all that he did and his might, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? So Jehoahaz slept with his fathers, and they buried him in Samaria, and Joash's son reigned in his place.
These names get confusing because
they sure do.
This is Jehoash. He's going to be king of Israel in the north, not to be confused with Joash in the south.
Right.
Okay, so verse 10. In the 37th year of Joash, king of Judah, Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, began to reign over Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 16 years.
Again, this is in the north. This is in Israel.
Yep.
Real short.
He also did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. He did not depart from all the sins of Jeroboam, the sons of Nebat, the son of Nebat, which he made Israel to sin, but he walked in them. Now, the rest of the acts of Joash and all that he did, and the might with which he fought against Amaziah, king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? So Joash slept with his fathers, and Jeroboam sat on his throne, and Joash was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel.
Okay,
Remember,
so
Samaria was the capital of Israel in the north.
Yep, so that's Jeroboam number 2, which we'll read about in chapter 14 in a few minutes. Here, the ESV title says the death of Elisha. This is the end of an era when Elisha dies, and at his death, it's pretty miraculous. So kind of keep your ears tuned for what happens when he died. Now, when Elisha had fallen sick with the illness of which he was to die, Joash, king of Israel, went down to him and wept before him, crying, my father, the chariots of Israel and its horsemen."
That's what they said about Elijah.
Yep. And Elisha said to him, "Take a bow and arrows." So he took a bow and arrows. Then he said to the king of Israel, "Draw a bow." And he drew it. And Elisha laid his hands on the king's hands. And he said, "Open the window eastward." And he opened it. Then Elisha said, "Shoot." And he shot. And he said, "The Lord's arrow of victory, the arrow of victory over Syria. For you shall fight the Syrians in Aphek until you have made an end to them." And then he said, "Take the arrows." And he took them. And he said to the king of Israel, "Strike the ground with them." And he struck 3 times and stopped. Then the man of God was angry with him and said, "You should have struck 5 or 6 times. Then you would have struck down Syria until you had made an end of it. But now you will strike down Syria only 3 times.
Verse 20, so Elisha died, and they buried him. Now, bands of Moabites used to invade the land in the spring of the year. And as a man was being buried, behold, a marauding band was seen, and the man was thrown into the grave of Elisha. And as soon as the man touched the bones of Elisha, he revived and stood on his feet.
Quite a miraculous thing. Even being dead, Elisha has power.
He did another miracle.
Has power to raise the dead, even when he's dead.
Yeah.
Now, Hazael, king of Syria, oppressed Israel all the days of Jehoahaz. But the Lord was gracious to them and had compassion on them, and he turned towards them because of Genesis 12. And I've been speaking about that at church, preaching about the faithfulness of God through all the generations in Matthew's genealogy. Because of his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he would not destroy them, nor has he cast them from his presence until now.
When Hazael, king of Syria, died, Ben-Hadad his son became king in his place. Then Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, took again from Ben-Hadad, the son of Hazael, the cities that he had taken from Jehoahaz his father in war. 3 times Joash defeated him and recovered the cities of Israel.
Just like Elisha had predicted. However, he only struck his arrows 3 times rather than 6 times, so he only recovered them 3 times. I have no idea what that means about recovering these cities 3 times.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so in terms of a summary, here in chapter 13, we just have the kings of...
Two kings of Israel.
Yep, Jehoahaz and Joash, and Elisha died.
Yeah.
And then just the man was raised from the dead when he touched his bones. Mm-hmm. Okay, chapter 14. In the 2nd year of Joash, the son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, Amaziah, the son of Joash, king of Judah, began to reign. Okay, so that's, you put a little J here in front of, right to the next of verse 1, because now we're going south. We're talking about Judah. And he was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jehoaddin of Jerusalem. And he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, yet not like David his father. He did in all things as Joash his father had done. But the high places were not removed. The people still sacrificed and made offerings in the high places, and as soon as the royal power was firmly in his hand, he struck down his servants who had struck down the king his father. But he did not put to death the children of the murderers, according to what was written in the book of the law of Moses, where the Lord commanded, "Fathers shall not be put to death because of their children, nor shall children be put to death because of their fathers, but each one shall die for his own sin." I just wrote in the margin Deuteronomy 24:16 if you want to look that up.
Verse 7, he struck down 10,000 Edomites in the Valley of Salt and took Selah by storm and called it Joktheel, which is its name to this day.
Then Amaziah sent messengers to Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu, king of Israel, saying...
So now we're talking about Israel in the north.
Well, we're talking about communication between Judah communicating with Israel.
Right.
"Come, let us look one another in the face." So this is like just some sort of political meeting, Trump calling Zelensky over to Washington. Let's just meet face to face. And Jehoash, king of Israel, sent word to Amaziah, king of Judah, a thistle in Lebanon sent to a cedar on Lebanon, saying, give your daughter to my son for a wife. And a wild beast of Lebanon passed by and trampled down the thistle. You indeed have struck down Edom, and your heart has lifted you up. Be content with your glory, and stay at home. For why should you provoke trouble so that you fall, you and Judah with you?
Not received well.
No. Fighting words.
Verse 11, but Amaziah would not listen. So Jehoash, king of Israel, went up, and he and Amaziah, king of Judah, faced one another in a battle at Beth Shemesh, which belongs to Judah. And Judah was defeated by Israel, and every man fled to his home. And Jehoash, king of Israel, captured Amaziah, king of Judah, the son of Jehoash, son of Ahaziah, at Beth Shemesh, and came to Jerusalem, and broke down the wall of Jerusalem for 400 cubits, from the Ephraim gate to the corner gate. And he seized all the gold and silver, and all the vessels that were found in the house of the Lord, and in the treasuries of the king's house, also hostages, and he returned to Samaria.
Okay, so it's Israel defeating Judah, the north defeating the south. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoash that he did, and his might, and how he fought with Amaziah, king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Jehoash slept with his fathers and was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. And Jeroboam, his son, reigned in his place. Okay, so the king of Israel who had victory then died. And so we're kind of going back, like we're talking about Israel and Judah at the same time, and now we're talking about Judah, Israel, and the king, and now we're going to go back to Judah in verse 17.
Okay, 17. Amaziah, the son of Joash, king of Judah, lived 15 years after the death of Jehoash, son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel. So he was captured, brought to Samaria, and then King Jehoash died. So Amaziah was still alive. Now the rest of the deeds of Amaziah, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? And they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish. But they sent after him to Lachish and put him to death there. And they brought him on horses, and he was buried in Jerusalem with his fathers in the city of David. And all the people of Judah took Azariah, who was 16 years old, and made him king instead of his father Amaziah. He built Elath and restored it to Judah after the king slept with his fathers.
Yep,
but what's important is his son became king, so we're keeping the line of David going in Judah.
And now we hear about Jeroboam number 2. In the 15th year of Amaziah, the son of Joash, king of Judah, Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel, began to reign in Samaria. And he reigned 41 years. And he did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. He did not depart from all the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, which he made Israel to sin. And this goes way back. Like this is Jeroboam number 2. This is several hundred years later as opposed to Jeroboam number 1. Mm-hmm. He restored the border of Israel from Lebo Hamath as far as the sea of the Arabah, according to the word of the Lord, the God of Israel, which he spoke by his servant Jonah, the son of Amittai, the prophet, who is from Gath Hepher. Ding, 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 ding. That's the only place that Jonah is mentioned in the Old Testament, apart from the book of Jonah. Well, that's not true. This is the only historical reference we have to him. Right. But you see, he's a prophet in Israel. And we'll read the book of Jonah next year. For the Lord saw the affliction of Israel was very bitter, for there was none left, bond or free, and there was none to help Israel. But the Lord had not said that he would blot out the name of Israel from under heaven, so he saved them by the hand of Jeroboam the son of Joash.
Verse 28, now the rest of the acts of Jeroboam and all that he did, and his might, how he fought, and how he restored Damascus and Hamath to Judah and Israel, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Jeroboam slept with his fathers, the kings of Israel, and Zechariah his son reigned in his place. Okay,
and we're looking for a summary of that chapter. It's just Amaziah fighting with Joash, but lost. And then Jeroboam number 2 kind of comes on. Mm-hmm. So it's just sort of like these kings, these stories, nothing really of great significance in this chapter. Other than the kings are going on, and even though the king of Judah was captured, still he stayed alive long enough to keep the Davidic covenant.
And they didn't wipe out his sons.
That's right. Okay, we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.